Encore Park is completely unique. There's nothing else out there like this program. At the very heart of it is the Stewpot that has served the needs of the homeless, the at-risk population for decades.
We at the Stewpot are in an important juncture of our history in which we are overflowing from our current building, and we see Encore Park as a major opportunity for us to expand our influence and impact in the community and in the lives of the people that we work with.
Encore Park gives us the opportunity now to expand into the cultural aspect: art, music, education, and history.
Entering the Museum of Street Culture at the Stewpot. Visitors will come into an entry area here. The Museum of Street Culture expands the outreach of the Stewpot and is grounded in the experiences of people who are often ignored. Located at 508 Park Avenue in a landmark zigzag modern building erected in 1929, the museum will present new perspectives on historical issues and current directions in street culture.
The development of any project requires that you start almost with a blank slate. You always have to look at who the users will be and what those users will be doing with the project. In our case, we're going to have a museum of street culture. That museum will encompass basically the entire building, but it will also have some specific exhibit areas.
The museum will also link the early film history of 508 Park with the blues, Western swing, and Mexican music that was recorded there during the 1930s. By focusing on the 1930s, we hope to make people more intimately concerned and aware of the ways in which, during the Great Depression, homelessness affected everyone's life.
Nobody thought of it in those days being street culture. You know, there was so much activity in the streets in those days. Everything was happening in the streets.
Street culture is so important to the vibrancy of urban life. It's at the core, the heart of the urban world.
I think that doing a project like this that connects Robert Johnson's street life, the ministry of the Stewpot, it makes a connection that not only makes sense in terms of Robert Johnson's life as somebody who did play on the street, travel around hitchhiking and hopping freight trains. It's unfortunately a reminder that we're living in not dissimilar times.
The idea of having a museum of street culture is a perfect extension because it breaks down the barriers of what people think of as museums, and it opens it up to a human enterprise.
The Museum of Street Culture is an extension of the Stewpot's 4 decades-long efforts to forge community between disparate worlds. It will bring together people of different faiths and cultures through art, music, education, and the celebration of all forms of creative expression.
Encore Park is a multifaceted project, and what the Museum of Street Culture does for us is it brings it all together. It makes it make sense. It puts it all in context.
The Open Art Studio will be able to expand and explore new mediums of expression through the Encore Park project.
Yeah. Hey, I like the way, I like what you did with the cross.
Since I've been the director of the program since 2005, we've probably sold about $200,000 worth of artwork.
I started coming to this program about 5 years ago. I'm able to function better in society because of this class. I think every day is a starting over point, and so that's what I try to portray, is a new beginning, starting over, doing things different each day.
My wife, Christy Coltrane, my business partner as well, came up with an idea, and it's called Sculpting the Future. So people would be creating 3-dimensional pieces. We would use clay, make molds, be able to cast them in plaster or bronze or aluminum. One of the primary focuses of Sculpting the Future is white metal casting, and that involves centrifugal casting of pewter. And you can cast sculptures and trinkets and necklaces and things like that. We hope to engage the street culture, the homeless, and the at-risk people to provide them with vocation, opportunities, and training that they can then gain confidence and support through our program.
We are very excited about all the music programming that's going to take place at Encore Park. The music is the magic. The music is what brings everyone together.
Music has been an important part of the Stewpot in the work that we do. Through the community concerts, our annual talent shows. The whole wide world will watch me. We recognize that the affirming presence of music in our programming is one more way of reaching into the creative spirit and helping people to affirm who they are and to help stabilize their lives.
I founded the Dallas Wind Symphony in 1985, and now, with the move to Encore Park and a name change to the Dallas Winds, we see an opportunity to reach many, many more people. It's an opportunity to reach out to homeless people, at-risk people, change their lives, enrich our community. What we're about to do at Encore Park is unprecedented. No wind ensemble on the planet has ever reached out and tried to sit side by side with people from the streets and to make their lives better. It's going to make our lives better too.
I work with children all the way from 1st grade through 12th grade, doing enrichment programs with our goal of building self-esteem in the children. We also have a college scholarship program, which helps students be able to go to college and make it more affordable.
So you have 3 different pitches, and that's very important in drumming.
Here in America, one of the problems we have is the inner city school district usually falls short, and because of that, these kids who have high aptitudes for music end up having an inferior music education. Part of my mission here at the Stewpot is to provide good music education.
5, 6, 7, and stop. Drum roll.
The Music Academy is a community outreach program that will be housed at Encore Park that will offer music education to students from age 4 to seniors in high school. The Dallas Wind Symphony, as well as our other partner organizations, will be providing instructors, the best professional musicians that we have in Dallas.
And then we're playing this together? Yes, we are.
There's no way to have a full life without arts and culture embedded in it. Coming up with Encore Park to give access to this for the homeless people and people in need seems to me to be a really smart idea.
There's so much that can happen here. It's the cutting edge of what's happening not only in the city of Dallas, but can be a great example for what can happen across the nation.